Good afternoon. Long time no see, peoples. How's it all doing? You're here with Tammy, and today well, no one's in, oh, yeah, no one's in chat, so I'm not likely to say hello to anybody just yet. But today I'd just like to be able to touch on a few things that I have noticed that's been going on in the world as of late. I've been and still am quite sick. I have a cough that won't go away. Um, my doctor reckons it's just normal for this time of year. So, well, he hasn't actually said that, but when I last spoke to him over the phone, I told him, "Hey, Kitty, how you doing, sweetheart? Good times. Oh, good time. Good to see you here. Thank you for your continuous support. It means so much to me that um, not just Kitty Witty, but everybody that has actually stuck around and stood by me and believed in me that I could do things that I never thought in a million years I could. I never thought I'd even get so much as 10 subscribers, let alone triple, quadruple, 100 times that amount. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been live for a while because I've been quite sick. I've been feeling like shit about my own self, and I didn't think that it was appropriate to air that all on YouTube because at the end of the day, there are people out there that are going to hate and they're going to find a way to use whatever emotion I'm feeling if they would decide to, you know, be assholes about me. I don't need that drama in my life, but yeah, I just thought it'd be best to keep it off the YouTube. But in recent weeks, or this recent week, we have lost quite a few people in the celebrity world. We lost Richard Simmons, the jumping jack exercise guy. Not sure who he is. That's who he is. He's from America. Donald Trump, his life was attempted to be taken, so they say. And then we lost my idol, and someone that I looked up to and admired throughout my entire life since I can honestly remember, and that was Shannon Doherty. Now, I was a huge fan of her since Beverly Hills 90210 days. Hey, Aussie True Crime, how you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, when I heard that she had passed away, I was absolutely devastated because I started watching her when she played Brenda Walsh in Beverly Hills 90210. And I saw her in, I don't remember the movie completely, but I remember she was in a movie called Heathers. I think she starred alongside Winona Ryder in that movie. I'm not 100% because obviously I didn't do research if I was going to, I didn't even think I was going to do a live today. Now, everybody that's in chat now, please remember that a little bit later today, I'm not sure if it's still going ahead, but Aussie True Crime is going live. So please make sure you tune into that because she'll be doing her part 3 of the Gypsy Rose scenario. Now, I find that case very irritating, but I'll be in there and I'll be offering support to my dear friend. Now, back to what I was saying about Shannon Doherty, I'll go on about Aussie True Crime doing what she's doing. So I didn't watch The Little House on the Prairie, but she looked adorable in that. And I think she wore plaits either side of her head, and she starred alongside that. Oh, what was his name? Hey, Jet's mom, how you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in here in forever. Oh, what was that? Uh, Landon something. Oh, what was his name? I don't think Crystola's here anymore. She came in before and said nothing's happening, and it's like, well, because I'm not live yet. That's why nothing's happening. The live hadn't started when she wrote that. But oh, what was it? I want to say, what was that guy? That Landon dude. That guy passed away. He also passed away from cancer, but it was a very long time ago. And he appeared in Little House on the Prairie with Shannon Doherty. And yeah, like I said, I looked at Shannon Doherty as that she was like my role model And she was everything I wanted to be. When I first dyed my hair, I dyed it dark brown because I just wanted to be so much like Shannon Doherty. And when I heard that she had passed away, I actually cried because it was like a part of me died too because of her. Michael Landon, thank you, Kitty. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. And yeah. Oh, wow. That's absolutely incredible that Shannon would do something like that. Shannon supposedly, well, apparently, or did, sorry, she signed her divorce papers 2 days before she died. And I just hope that she's now at peace. I hope her husband ends up getting absolutely fuck all. Ex-husband, even though he's the ex-husband, but still, he deserves absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, but if you want to ever tune into things about Shannon Doherty, she did a podcast which I believe Holly Marie Combs has now taken over from, and it's called Let's Be Clear. And it made me admire Shannon just that little bit more, knowing the fact that she knew she was sick. She knew she had cancer. She went into remission for, I think it was a year and a half. And then the day she was told a few days prior to Luke Perry, hey, Crystal, yes to hear, sweet. Prior to her announcement that her cancer had came back and it was stage 4 breast cancer, she had actually supposedly, out of the Beverly Hills 90210 crew, the only person that she told about that diagnosis to was Brian, and she was in Brian Austin Green, who played David Silver. For those who don't know who I'm referring to when I say Brian, don't want to get confused with the guy who played Leo in Charmed. Yeah, she confided in him, and when she was going to tell everybody else, they got news that Luke Perry had died, and he died of a severe stroke at the age of 52. Shannon was 53 when she passed away. And like I said, I was absolutely devastated when I heard that, and it made me feel like, even though I didn't know her, I felt as though that she was always looked at as though that she was a hassle to work with. And regardless of what anyone thinks or says, but this is just my personal opinions, I think she would have been a joy to work with because she had a work ethic that she was there to do a job and she wasn't there to play games unless there was games involved in her script. Okay, no worries, Christola. Yeah. I cried when Luke Perry passed away. I passed away when Shannon Doherty passed away. I passed away when Matthew Perry died. And it's just, for me, it's like, how can I put it without being dramatic? It was like losing part of what my childhood was. It was part of that. And I used to have these two amazing friends named Lee and Sharon. And because we all loved the TV show Charmed, and we all loved, Holly Marie Combs, Shannon Doherty, and Elisa Milano. We all called ourselves the Charmed ones. Like Lee, the one that I've talked about a bit, that passed away. She was Shannon, who played Prue. The other friend of mine, Sharon, she was Piper, and she was played by Holly Marie Combs played Piper, and I was little baby Phoebe because he was played by Elisa Milano in Charmed, and well, from what I've heard, it wasn't necessarily just Tori. It was the fact that the I can't. I'll find the podcast if I can, and I'll send it to you, Ozzy. But it wasn't just. Yeah, well, Tori just no. I'm sorry, I can't with that. Tori's just no. I can't. I'm sorry, but no. No. Mm-mm. I think it's best if I just keep my opinions of what I think of Tori spelling, to myself because I don't want to offend anybody by saying I think she's a plastic fuckwit. Clark cries poor, but she can afford hair extensions. And just things like that kind of make me angry. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Tori spelling. Not a fan of her at all. But no, Shannon Doherty is someone that no matter what's happened and stuff, I've always looked at Tori Spelling as someone that I admire, and I had amazing amount of respect. Oh, nah, Lizzie, say what you want about Tori Spelling. I think she's a fucking idiot. There you go. I think that she loved the fact that no matter what trouble she got. Hey, Julie, how you doing? Um, it's afternoon here in Australia, but good evening to you too. Um, Tori Spelling's the kind of person that reminds me of the fact that when her daddy was alive, she could get away with anything. Like she could perform like a fucking idiot and couldn't act to save her own freaking life. But then when her dad passed away, Aaron Spelling, she, uh, yeah, still a bit sick, but I've got to wait till next Wednesday to get the stuff I need to get better. So it's all good. But anyway, as I was saying, with Tori Spelling, she thought her own shit didn't stink. And I found her, like I said, as long as her dad was alive and her dad was there basically giving her a pat on the head to say, good girl, then Tori Spelling didn't give a shit. But when her dad died, shit really hit the fan for Tori, and she realised that this is the wake-up call she should have had all along. Like, I personally think that if you've got money, you should never, ever you should spoil your kids, yes, but not spoil them in such a I couldn't agree more, Julie. Horseface, yes. But she was like really paranoid about her and I'm sorry if this is upsetting to anybody when I say this. She was in the illusion that she needed a boob job. So she got a boob job, and now when she's not wearing like a tape that's basically pushing her boobs together, she's got this gaping fucking can holder in her chest, so to speak. And I just exactly right there. Ozzy couldn't agree more. Her dad gave her career. And then it's like you went on and you were in a not TV, sorry, a movie called where they did those scary movies, and you got screwed by a ghost. Like, come on, that's yes, exactly right. You could tell because every single storyline that Tori Dana Martin had, it always worked in the way that it had a happy ending. You know what I mean? But there was one particular scene of there that I thought was actually really quite messed up in Beverly Hills 90210 is when Tori Spelling supposedly loses her virginity and to David and turns to him and goes, he turns to her and goes, how did I get so lucky? And she turns around and goes, you waited. And it's like, what? He didn't fucking wait for your love. He was out there doinking anything he could stick his manhood into. And rumors have it that Tori Spelling has come out and said that she slept with Jason Priestley, who played Brandon Walsh, and she also slept with Brian Austin Green, who played David Silver. And then she goes, "Oh, I really had a crush on Luke, but no, like kind of like, yeah, well, Luke had a brain in his fucking head not to mess with that because of the fact that if he slept with you and did then call you, there would have been really shitty storylines for him. David ended up with a drug problem around the time into the show, around the time that he was supposedly sleeping with Tori Spelling. So it's just like, yeah, it was on a show. I can't remember the show, but she admitted that she slept with Jason Priestley and Brian Austin Green away from the Beverly Hills thing. So yeah, Yeah, she did, but, like, I'm sorry, but I know this is gonna sound like a weird thing to say. I don't know many men that would actually be that patient. And David didn't, as she puts it, wait for her. 'Cause he was out there doinking Ariel, the fucking music producer, and all those other people that he was sleeping with. But according to Donna, he waited. Waited in the sense that he didn't push her, or waited in the sense that yeah, well, he didn't push her. But I just think that whole show, after Shannon left, it just went a bit downhill. But like I said, moving on from that, it's just back to Shannon because she's the topic of, well, not the topic, but the main reason why I brought her up is because you look at how she was able to take a role, like when she played, which people might remember in more recent times, when she played Prue Halliwell in Charmed. And I absolutely loved her in that. I thought she was absolutely incredible. Shannon loved that was I think that from what I remember hearing, that was the most proudest Shannon was the most proud of that show. Is that in that show she was able to kick ass and she was able to do her own stunts and all that sort of stuff. And it comes down to when she was in 90210, she couldn't do any stunts. But when she was in Charmed, she was able to do a lot of her own stunts. She was able to kick ass and all that sort of stuff. So I admired Shannon Doherty a lot. Like I admire Sarah Michelle Gellar, who played Buffy. I think that's from memory. That's her name, yes. And she's been in a few movies I like as well. She's in Cruel Intentions. I don't know those two movies. Sorry, but I think she was only in one of them, which is I Know What You Did Last Summer, and all that sort of stuff. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar is an exceptional actress, like Shannon Doherty is, and Shannon Doherty and Sarah Michelle Gellar were the best of friends and were for over 20 years, I believe. So, but yeah, it was a very, very sad day when I heard that Shannon Doherty had passed away. You know, like I said, I looked up to her when I was a kid and I just admired her. Ooh, excuse me. I admired her a lot and I'll continue to admire her forever because, you know, why not? Like I've got the original Beverly Hills 90210 and I've got the original Charmed, and I was asked if I would ever sell them. And first of all, when it came to Beverly Hills 90210, I came very, very close to selling it. So I got all 10 seasons of it. And then something told me not to, so I didn't. And then Luke Perry passed away, and it was just like, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't actually know that. Thank you. Aaron Spelling was married to the woman who played Morticia from the Addams Family, the original, I'm guessing, for over 10 years. And then he divorced her or she passed away or whatever. And then he went on and married Candy Spelling. Hmm. Interesting. Hey, Foxy Lady. Welcome to my chat. Welcome to everybody. Elizabeth isn't here yet, I don't think, or she's fallen asleep, one of the two. But no, as I was saying, it comes down to the fact that, like I said, when Shannon Doherty passed away, I was crushed because she was someone that I don't believe she ever said this quote, but she may have. I don't know, but I think it was like, I'd rather be the bitch you fear than the bitch you talk about behind my back at parties, you know, and that is something that even though she just didn't care. Yeah, so do I. Oh, I don't have the Book of Charmed, unfortunately. But no, it comes down to that, you know, when you grow up with somebody and stuff like that, whether they're the same age as you or a little bit older. Like Shannon Doherty is 53 when she passed away. So yeah, she's 11 years older than me, and I just looked at her with such admiration, the fact that she was able to do what she was able to do in 53 years of life. Like, as far as I'm aware, and I could be wrong with this, so you can feel free to fact check this. After she went into remission from having cancer the first time, the first thing she did when she came back to acting was a TV movie called No One Would Tell. And that originally was made with I've got to try and remember her name. Candace Cameron. It was originally made with Candace Cameron and Fred Savage. And the remake that was done with Shannon Doherty, I loved it because it had Shannon Doherty in it. But I didn't love the fact that whoever offered that to her had that as her comeback to TV or movies. You know what I mean? I wish they had done something much more Shannon, if that makes sense. And like I said, if you know, she has a podcast out there called Let's Be Clear, and I did extend in the comments section, ended up getting deleted, I think, but that's fine. But I did extend an invitation for her to join me on here with me, and I heard nothing back. So, and now I'm sad to say I never will hear back. But she will be missed. She was an incredible, incredible inspiration to me. And for those who ever got to meet her, you lucky SOBs. Because yeah, just devastates me quite a bit to think that, you know, only about what was it, a week beforehand she was doing her podcast and she sounded great and she sounded full of life. Like she didn't want to die. It's rumors have it that she's actually been has been heard saying that before she died, that she's not ready to go yet. She's got too much living to do, and she's got too much to do. And unfortunately, yeah, she lost her battle. And obviously, there are thousands and thousands of people all over the world that lose their battle from cancer or any kind of other horrible, horrible disease out there. There are people dying every single day. And I know that's just as tragic. But in saying that, it's like, I don't know what makes it more upsetting when it's a celebrity. For me, it doesn't. It's like knowing that there are women and children and men people out there in general, just dying every single day through horrible, horrible circumstances, and things can be done to change that. Like there are women out there and men, I'm not saying it's just women, but there are men and women out there every day that are going through domestic violence and they are losing their lives. And there's nothing. Yeah, exactly right, Ozzy. She didn't want to leave her mum. Shannon did not want to leave her mum. And and that's pretty fucking sad to know the fact that Shannon, by the sounds of things, for me personally, from what I'm gathering, from what I've seen, Shannon was so busy focusing on other people, and she didn't even pay attention to the fact that people were trying to focus on her, but she was trying to focus it on them. So pretty sad. I just hope that wherever Shannon is now, she's at peace. And I'm not saying her family's ever going to get this though, but if by chance they ever happen to stumble across my little channel, even like her mum or her brother, just look up to like I say this to anybody who's lost anybody. Just pay attention to the night sky, and when you see a shining star looking down on you, that's your loved one winking down on you. I don't know if they'll ever get to the Dohertys, but I'm just glad that Shannon was able to make peace with a few people that had wronged her in her life. As far as I know, she was able to make peace with Alyssa Milano. And it's just, for me personally, reading some of the things that Alyssa Milano is saying, like how, I always looked at Shannon Doherty as someone I admired. But that's why you're trying to get her kicked off the set of fucking Charmed and all that sort of stuff. Take responsibility for the fact that she would have been able to stay on Charmed until the end if you didn't kick up such a stink and give the producers and all that sort of shit an ultimatum. And it was easier to fire Shannon because she'd caused havoc, and I say it with quotes, on the 90210 set. So it was just easier to get rid of Shannon than it was to face a lawsuit from Alyssa Milano. Whether that's any of that's true, who knows? But moving on to something little more upbeat. I am looking into, well, because I haven't been live since Aussie True Crime came here, I don't think. Aussie True Crime came to visit me. It was an amazing visit. I got to meet her and her husband, Spirit Tom. And it was an amazing time I had with them, the time I did have with them. Unfortunately, we didn't get down to Glenelg to do the Beaumont thing because it was the first day she got here, it was raining. The second day she was here, I had no way to get to her. And the third day, it was really, really freaking cold. And we caught up with her adoptive daughter, not mentioning her name, but we caught up with her, went out to what we call it anyway, call it this name. We went out to Costco, and because I didn't want to be in the way of her spending time with her adoptive daughter, so to speak, I left and went home from Costco. But the time I did have with them, it was incredible. I can't wait for Aussie to get her ass back here in Adelaide because I can't get to Melbourne anytime soon. But I'm pretty sure that if I ever get to Melbourne, I'm pretty sure I'll find a way. But, I don't like flying on my own. Call me crazy. But we had a good time. I felt as though that I was I don't know how to put it. I felt even though she says it was awesome meeting me, which she just read all there, it was awesome to meet me. I felt as though that I was a disappointment because, I was I'll be honest with all of you, in cold weather, I'm in so much pain. Like, you wouldn't believe. And the thing is, though, we went walking around trying to find something. I do know what we were looking for, but I don't want to say it on here. But we're trying to find certain things while they were here on their first day. And I was in so much fucking pain. It was unreal. But all good in the hood. No pain, no gain. Yes, you're off to see Van next weekend. Please make sure you give Van my love and a big, 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 big hug. If you can, if you want to. No, I wasn't. Yeah, I should. Are you saying no? I wasn't a pain, or I wasn't in pain. But and when you said no, you weren't. You were not. So, but like I said, I'm looking into a lot of things that I want to try and do. When it warms up a little bit here in Adelaide, I will be going down and doing the Beaumont Children thing myself. And I'll probably go live with that, but probably not. See how we go. But I'm trying my hardest. Like I said, there's a lot of things that are coming up in the next few months. Like, I've got to get oh, I'm glad. But like I said, what was it saying? Yeah, in the next couple of months, I've got to get a few things done and sorted for this house. I've got to try and get a skip to get rid of more crap. And that they're not cheap here in Australia. They're not cheap at all. But fingers crossed, I can work all that out. I have to get arrange a top of the notch deep clean for my property. So then that way it's all good. But also the beauty of this is I've got 3 months to do all of this in because the South Australian government, I'm not sure if it's Australia-wide or just in Adelaide, but they have now pushed it that unless you have a specific reason for it, they have to conduct inspections every 3 months. So I've got 2.5 months to come up with over $700 to pay for the skip, to pay for the in-depth, like really deep clean and all of that sort of stuff. So when they come back, they can take a big, huge chunk out of my ass while they bite it, because I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this, and when I say that, I mean like take a big chunk out of my ass. I mean like money that I owe. It comes down to, like I said, I'm just trying my absolute hardest to make sure that they take that huge chunk out of my ass and bite me and fucking, yeah, let me do what I need to do. And when I'm out and up and about again, I will show you all this cup. I want to call it a cup, but it's not a cup. I want to call it a thermal cup that Aussie True Crime made for me with this emblem. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. She made me a really awesome cup with that, and I absolutely fucking love it. Like, I remember when I was out and about. Hey Lisa, how you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Because I haven't been here for a while, that's why. Sorry. I'm not even funny. But like I said, so fingers crossed it all goes to plan, that I can get what I need to get the skip and the clean done. I've priced it everywhere, and the cheapest skip is going to cost me about $250, give or take. But the beauty of that is I get the skip for a week. So I need to get the money for that, but then I need to also make sure that I've got the money for the cleaner, because then that way, with whatever rubbish that the cleaner finds, I have to make sure that the cleaner is here on one of the days when the skip's here, so then they can put all the rubbish and all the crap that they can find into the skip. So if you believe in crossing your fingers, please cross your fingers that I find that money somehow. But, time will tell. But, yeah, I'm also trying to lose weight. So that's fun. It's working in a way because I'm not eating as much crap as I used to, because it's wonderful when you've got carpal tunnel. Can't do certain things. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Don't cross your eyes in case you're driving, sweetie. Don't do that. Fuck. Yeah, so I'm trying my hardest now, like I said, to eat what I can when I can. There's these things that I used to buy quite often, and now I've gone back to them because I absolutely love them. They're these things they're called potato sticks, and they were on special last fortnight or last 2 weeks ago. And I got them, and they don't taste as good as they used to, but because they're quite bland. And they only come in like chicken flavor and plain. So it's basically like, ooh, big choices. It's not really. And yeah. So I'm trying to make sure that if I get hungry and stuff and I'm not really hungry, I'll go have something small. I was discussing this with Foxy Lady and my friend Elizabeth earlier this morning. I was saying about how I want to try and make tacos this week for something different. And then I thought to myself, I found Mexican salad on the Coles, which is a shopping centre here in Australia. A Coles that have the Mexican salad. So what I'm thinking of actually doing is, you can buy those taco boats or whatever they're called. I'm thinking of putting some of the put some of the taco mince, ground beef or beef mince that I do, make some of that up. That's fun. Then put some of that in the base of the taco boat, and then put in a little handful or a small fistful of the Mexican salad. Then put. I need to find a way now. If anyone can help me understand how to do this. Oh wow, 3 jobs. Far out, Lisa. Just don't overdo it, sweetheart. Just make sure you just pace yourself, please. Anyway, as I was saying, put some of the Mexican salad on top, but I need someone to help me here. Okay, over here in Australia, as far as I know, we don't because I haven't seen it anywhere. We don't get sour cream in like a squeezy bottle. We get it in a cup. Now, if anyone's able to help me figure out how to, I'm thinking putting it in a sandwich bag and then just cutting off the corner or piercing the corner and then doing it that way. But at the same time, I don't know how long that would last in the fridge. So it's like, do I just get like a little sandwich bag and say put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of the sour, or 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of the sour cream into a Ziploc bag, cut the corner, and then use that as a way of doing it? Yeah, because I don't want to put just a dollop of sour cream on the top I want to be able to spread it over it. So then, yeah, and then do the same with some guacamole or something. Okay, cool. Thank you. Just want to make sure I'm doing it right because I don't want to fuck it up. But yeah, because like I said, I love when I can. I love cooking. And it's funny. I just thought I just got a notification for PayPal, so I scrolled down on my screen and it's like just a games notification. I'm like, oh, someone gave me money. Oh, but it's not. But no, like I was saying, it's all trial and error for me lately on how to learn how to cook all over again. Oh yeah, cool. I'll look into office clips. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. You're a legend. Um, but like I want to try. I made up this Okay, I occasionally, when I can afford to, I buy frozen baby octopus, and I make my own. Oh wow, was that? Have you been okay, Kitty? Is that because you're eating healthier, or are you feeling okay? Is everything all right? Okay, I'll keep an eye out in chat to see what you say in response to that. I just hope you're okay, sweetheart. Oh wow, yeah, high cholesterol's a bitch. Just make sure that when you go shopping, you get the cholesterol lowering butter from Coles or Woolworths, hon, because that helps lower it a bit. Yeah, well, fucking hell. Give me, feel free to send me some easy to do recipes, Kitty. Far out. Your uncle's 100? Fucking hell. Hallucinating's not a good thing, though. I always do. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying your uncle's 100. I'm like, what the fuck is shit? Kitty, she says 100% dependent on her, I think. Far out. Lisa, if you can you send me a few recipe ideas, please? I'm on Facebook. You can get my details if you need to. You can get my details from Aussie True Crime. If you can, and only if you've got time. I'm not trying to put added pressure onto you. But Lisa, please make sure you take care of yourself, hun, okay? Just try your absolute best to make sure you have 1 hour a day just for you to unwind and be you and focus on you. Without having to focus on everybody else, just take an hour or two each day. I know you're going to probably say, I won't have time with 3 jobs, and that's fine. I get that, but just try. Oh, wow. Yes, please, Lisa. Please send me your details and I will SMS you and ask you, do you know how to make blah, blah, and blah, 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 blah. I'm still trying to perfect how to make cabbage rolls. And it's only been 20 years and I still fail big time. And but yeah, long story short of things. Oh, Lisa, I wish you lived here. I'll pay you $150 a fortnight, even though I can't afford that. I still would just to make sure I could get what I want. Oh no, Lisa, I think you're adorable, but I beg of you one thing. Please don't say something's easy because even cutting up a piece of steak is hard for me these days. Yeah, same with me, Kitty. They just don't know. I'm trying to find. Okay, when I make like stuffed capsicums, it's basically make a chili con carne thing and then stuff the capsicums. It's the same with the cabbage rolls. Do the same thing, but I can't find a sort like I do. I personally do not like using pastata as a sauce for stuffed capsicums or cabbage rolls. I would like to be able to make a nice sauce that goes with it. So if anyone's got a good recipe, it's kind of like a gravy, but it's not a gravy, if that makes sense. So every time I make cabbage rolls, it ends up looking like a cabbage roll soup, and it's yuck. Well, that was the last bit of my seafood highlighter. Thank you everybody for being just being here and being respectful to everybody in chat. I really appreciate it. Ozzy, are you still in here? Okay, I don't know what egg roll wraps would be here. They like spring roll wrappers. Sorry, I don't know what egg roll wrappers would be here. Are you still going live at 4:30 my time? I only ask you that because I don't want to promote it again and then you're not. That's all. Yeah, you see, the thing is, though, what people consider easy, I don't. So please stop saying things are easy. No, I'm serious. I'm not saying that to sound like a bitch. It's just that when people say things are easy, it actually tears me up a little bit because what's easy for you isn't easy for me. And it's very, very, very upsetting when people think things are easy because, bad hands and bad eyes don't make things easy. But I tried making him. Oh, okay. Then what I said earlier about Aussie's going live earlier, she's not doing that till now Monday, guys. So please tune in then. Well, I could have joined you today if you wanted me to join you, Aussie. I didn't mind, but I suppose it's okay. But I do want to address a few things, not being rude, if it's okay. Well, okay. I'm not a fan of anybody who, how can I put it, who commits a crime and then cries wolf, so to speak. Now, I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for saying what I really think here, but just remember these are my opinions, yeah. Okay. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Can't fucking stand her. Sorry, but I can't. All right. Now, I was on a channel yesterday. I'm not going to name drop which channel that was, but I found something very interesting with things that they were showing. They were showing some of the pictures of the evidence that they, stuff they found. And the thing I found very interesting, though, is the fact that they took a picture of Nick's shoes. Now, the thing that really confuses me about that, though, is that if Nick had actually done what he said they say he did, right? Yes, thank you so much, Lisa. I agree. Now, the thing that I don't get, though, right, is the fact that if Nick, I'm probably going to get this particular live taken down by saying this, but I have to use this term. When Nick unalived Gypsy's mum by supposedly stabbing her, right? Now, this is where I get very, very confused with doing that. It was almost like, okay, when you have, it's a hot day and you spray yourself with a spray bottle and you get like little spray bits of water on your face. His shoes almost look like that, like a spray of blood, not a squirt, not from blood dripping from the knife or anything like that. This is just from what I think I saw. Keep in mind, guys, I've got astigmatism on my eyes, so my eye's not perfect. All right. Sorry, I'll just, and all that sort of shit. So how is it? Okay, now, in my opinion, again, Gypsy, from the moment she started plotting the demise that was the outcome of what was going to be her mum no longer being here, I personally think from the moment she started planning the unaliving of her mother, I don't understand how she can call herself a victim as a Gypsy. She wasn't a victim. She plotted it all. She should still be in jail, in my opinion. She should not be allowed to have children at all, but she is having one apparently. And I don't understand how can I put it? How she was so adamant she didn't want Ryan's kid, but then she leaves Ryan, hooks up with, was it Dan? And then within a matter of moments, oh, what do you know? Gypsy's pregnant. I personally, and I can be wrong in saying this, but I don't think that Dan's the father. He may well be the father. We don't know. But I just find it a bit odd. And I do agree. I do believe that, yes. I believe Dan was there before Nick. I do believe that, yes. Nick should not be incarcerated for something that he only. Okay, now, I'm not sure if this is the case with all of them, so please don't think I'm saying this to typecast all people with autism or whatever condition Nick has. I personally think that Gypsy took advantage of him, knowing that how he felt about her, and I believe in my heart of hearts she used sex as a weapon to get what she wanted, which was her mother no longer being here. Now, in saying that, I think it's very odd that people knew Gypsy could walk. Her dad knew she could walk, but her stepmom, but yet neither one of them said anything to anybody. Now, Gypsy, I believe personally, knew that her mother was dying from other things apart from what happened to her. I believe she knew she was dying. Gypsy then therefore thought probably to herself, oh no, I'm going to be shipped off to a fucking care facility because I can't take care of myself and my dad doesn't want me. So I'm going to have to keep up these pretenses that I've got all these issues wrong with me for the rest of my fucking life. But hang on a second, because as soon as it's announced that, she had passed away, Gypsy Rose care facility straight off the bat. Or her dad probably might have had a heart and taken her in. Now, the thing that confuses me about that, though, is the fact that if her mother's life was ended because of someone committing that crime, Gypsy therefore then had a chance to get away and start supposedly a new life. She stole $5,000 from her mum, which was found. And the reason was that she went into Walmart and got the knife, which was very interesting. But then there was another place that she refused to go into in case people recognized her, but yet then she went on a bus to go across country, also to her boyfriend Nick's house. Exactly. Gypsy probably was a victim of her mother's bullshit, like when she was younger. But there was a time when her mum went to go see her, I think it was her uncle or something, and Gypsy was her mum went to the shops and all this sort of shit. And then Gypsy went onto the trampoline and she was jumping up and down on it. Like, Gypsy wasn't paralyzed. So let's get that straight, all right? Let's get that clear. She wasn't paralyzed, but she couldn't do certain oopsie, sorry, Aussie. She couldn't do certain things herself. You know what I mean? That's understandable. But what I'm getting at, though, is the fact that Gypsy saw her mum coming, like driving down the street to pull into her brother's or whatever driveway or whatever, and then she just fell onto the trampoline, like limp. And I just think that's absolutely disgusting because in that time that her mum was, what do you call it, away from the house and everything like that, that could have been an opportunity for Gypsy to say something, but she said nothing. Now, all these things that Gypsy supposedly had done, I personally don't think half that shit happened. Like where all the again, I'm in Australia, so I don't know if it's actually happened, but where are all the people that have supposedly done all these operations on Gypsy? Where are they coming forward? You know what I mean? So exactly, that's what I'm saying. She could have said something when she was older, but she didn't. I just find the whole the fact that people look at that girl, and I'm going to call her a girl because she's not a woman. I don't give a fuck how old she is, but she's not. She's a fucking child. I don't understand how people can look at her and think that she is any kind of celebrity. It's like when people go into Big Brother. What, they sit around and complain and bitch and moan and sometimes perform activities, shit, shower, sleep, and all that sort of stuff, all under camera. And then us as the public can have the right to then pass judgment on those people and then somehow make those people a celebrity because they were in a house with cameras. Pretty fucking sad that they look at Gypsy Rose, okay, and think somehow, some way, she plotted and carried out the murder of her mother, and then suddenly she's, I don't actually know, Kitty. Okay, she only had 4 surgeries. A doctor looked into her records, then said nothing. It's straight out fraud. There you go. Yeah, I went into her TikTok the other day and I can only stand 5 seconds of her voice, and then I had to switch off. Because apparently, even though I was reading the chat, someone was asking her what kind of lipstick was she wearing. And it's like, who gives a shit? I just don't understand. Oh, yeah, and then also in other breaking news, Chris Watts is apparently struggling in jail. Poor baby. Poor fucking baby. You know, like, I'm sorry. Oh, and apparently, I don't know if this is current, but I just got this as a notification earlier. Chris Watts is now pointing the finger at NK. He now calls her Jezebel or something. Yeah, I feel so sorry for Chris. You know, like, he annihilated his family and tried to blame Shanann, and when he found out that didn't work, he blamed himself, and now he's blaming Kessinger. You know. Yeah, well, okay. So, okay, according to Kitty Witty, all this Chris Watts breaking news is all old news. Okay. I just think it's just, yeah. He's getting bullied real bad, is he? Oh, okay. Oh, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't pity him. I don't even want to talk about him. But I just thought I'd offer to send in, Satan bless him. You know what I mean? And God bless all the people that want to fucking make his life hell, like, that's great. Oh. Oh, okay then. Thank you, Ozzy. But yeah, I just think that if he's getting bullied, then, my heart goes out to the bullies. Honestly, I don't care. But I'm just trying to touch on all the stuff that I've heard over since I haven't been live. But I do need to go and try my hardest to find something that I can have and make for my dinner. I really don't have the energy or the strength to cook, but I have to, or I just don't eat. Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, though, is the fact that, okay, here's the latest with me. Chris Watts and Gypsy Rose, they should meet. They really should meet, because then Gypsy can try and convince Chris on how to, basically sit down, shut the fuck up, and take your penalty. And that's what she should have done, but she's not. She's coming across as though that she's the victim. She's not a victim. Gypsy Rose is no victim. All right. I'm sorry, but like I said before, the moment she started plotting the unaliving of her mother and all that sort of shit, and she handed Nick the knife when he walked through the door, she stopped being a victim. See, if I had the opportunity, I would absolutely tear Chris apart. I would absolutely love to do that. If I had the opportunity to interview Gypsy Rose, I would say, in what day and age do you think it's appropriate to be sitting out in the public eye claiming you're a victim when I'm sorry, the victim was your mother? You were a victim from a very young age from what your mother was doing to you. I get that. But the thing is, though, is the fact that you had a voice. If you had the ability to go to a bathroom, have sex while you're supposed to be watching a movie or some sort of shit, you know what the funny thing is, though? It's the fact that you're able to write your home address on the envelope that the knife was sent back to Nick's house after the crime was committed. Okay? Here's the thing. You could have easily written a letter prior to that, hidden it somewhere amongst all your crap on your bloody wheelchair thing. When you went into the toilet, you could have easily left that note somewhere for someone to be able to find it and say, "Hi, my name is Gypsy Rose Blanchard. You all know me, blah, 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 blah." And also, my mother is actually saying all these things are wrong with me and they're not. She could have done something. And because Munchausen by proxy, excuse me, because Munchausen by proxy is known as child abuse, her mother would have received 5 to 7 years jail for it, and probably even more because of the fraud that went along with it. But Gypsy didn't want to do any of that. She wanted to find someone to kill her mother. She served 8 years, but yet there are people out there who do worse or just about as worse as that. If you like, there's a woman, I can't remember where she was from, but I think she was from the Philippines. Forgive me if I'm wrong here. She plotted to kill her husband. Her husband, luckily, wasn't killed, but she set him up for, what do you call it? To find drugs in his possession when he was he was a recovering drug addict. He'd been clean for X amount of years, and then he married this woman, and then she plotted to have him killed or arrested so that she could have his house and all his money. And what happened is that she was jailed for 25 plus years. I know it's different state, different laws, different this, different that. I get that. But how is it that a grown woman was able to receive 30 something years jail for plotting, not successfully doing it, but plotting the murder of her husband? All right. And she was convinced, oh, but we thought we were filming a reality TV show and all this kind of crap. But yet she received 30 to plus years or so in jail, 20 plus years, we'll go with that. And yet Gypsy Rose plots to kill her mother and has someone doing it, and that is then carried out. And all she got for her involvement in it, even though she handed the weapon to the murderer, she only got 7.5 years, 8 years. Tell me how the fuck that makes sense, justice system in America. Tell me how she was able to only get 8 years. Meanwhile, Nick thought he was doing this to protect her. Yes. Yes. No, we're not. No, we're talking about Gypsy Rose, Lisa. I do not understand how she thinks, or how the people that run America think that for one woman who plotted the demise of her husband got 20 plus years or even life, I think. And yet Gypsy Rose, and mind you, this other woman's husband didn't even die, wasn't even injured. Yes, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. And no, not Gabby Petito. No. Yeah, if I could remember that story, it'd be great. Yep, just give me a sec. Um, okay, give me one sec, guys. I'm going to be joined by one of my best friends. There you go, Ozzy. But like I said, I just think it's pretty fucked up. And I'm saying this on my channel because I want to, if I'm ever on Ozzy's panel and she's discussing the Gypsy Rose case, I want to make sure that I'm being respectful and not swearing on her channel. So that's why I'm saying it on mine. So I apologize. That link is in chat for Ozzy and for anybody else who wishes to come up. Anyone is welcome as long as you be respectful to me and to the people in chat. And if there's other people on panel, you're respectful to them. So I'll just wait for. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not Gabby Petito. Okay, guys, welcome to the panel. Ozzy!
How are you?
Peter, I'm good. Feeling better each day, but this cough is still persistent. It's pissing me off, and I can't get cough medicine until Wednesday.
All right. On the Gypsy thing, I have an opinion, and that's all this is.
Mm-hmm.
But think about this. All right. All of the fraud that Gypsy and her mum had done, all right, for years and years, when they got into the new house, there was a doctor that was seeing her at the hospital, and he requested all of her records. He got her records, and her records showed that Gypsy wasn't as sick as what she made out, what we all know. Now, I don't share the records, but I have seen the records. Do you mean that's how I know she only had 4? It might have been 5, but I'm sure it was only 4 surgeries that she had. But you've got to think, and we know Dee Dee was really sick with diabetes, to the state where she only had a couple of months to live. Now, if Dee Dee passed away, and by natural causes, if Gypsy didn't do what she did, and Dee Dee had passed away by natural causes, and then all of the fraud came out, Gypsy would have been put into jail for years, a lot more than 8. Yeah. So it makes me wonder, and this is just my opinion, whether this was something planned by Dee and Gypsy, because even if Gypsy did go to jail for the murder, it would still be under what she would have went for the fraud. Now, when she took her plea deal, in her plea deal, there is a clause that she cannot be charged for the fraud from her mother.
Oh, why would they put that
if it didn't affect Gypsy as well?
That just is very, very true. No, I actually appreciate you saying that. Yeah, thank you. And I hope I'm not overstepping because I'll.
Yeah. No. That doctor that has all those records, and there is records to show that he has those records, has always denied seeing them.
Oh, okay. So it works in his favor too.
Records showing that he has them.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. The thing is, well, though. Sorry, go on.
No, go. I just get very.
No, I'm just going to say, this is where, if it's okay with you, and only if it's okay with you, I won't do it all the time, and I don't know how many parts you're going to be doing on the Gypsy Rose thing, but I'm going to be, obviously I'll be there when you're doing it, but I'm doing all the profanity and swearing now, So that way, if I'm there on Monday and stuff like that, then I'm not on your panel going, oh, Gypsy Rose is a you know, that sort of stuff. I'm trying to, this is the Gypsy Rose case after dark, so to speak.
We're doing the audio because there are people in Australia that can't get hold of the episodes.
There are a few episodes actually on YouTube.
Yeah, some of them are. But they will still get flagged or they'll get taken. Do you know what I mean? If you can watch them on YouTube, watch them now because they will be taken down by Lifetime. I'm doing the audio. Hopefully they won't flag me. They could still. I don't know. But it was my way of getting Aussies to be able to hear, at least hear what she was saying. I know there is another 3 reality shows that he has signed up for. So don't think that's going to be the last. But once we finish the audio, we're going to give our opinions, and I'm closing off Gypsy because I get too much. It as you can see, it eats at me.
Yes,
that
I agree with what Lisa just wrote. I don't watch her voice. Don't watch her voice and noise. I just don't understand how someone that can plot. Sorry, go on.
She only has that annoying voice when she's lying. If you listen to her long enough, she'll actually break into a normal voice. She only does that high pitch child voice when she's lying.
There you go. So the thing I don't get though is that like I said, the woman where Lisa just posted the link to that woman who plotted with an undercover cop the demise of her husband because she didn't like him anymore. So she tried to plot to kill him, and he didn't even lose a pinprick of blood, and yet she received, I think it was 25 years or something. Yet Gypsy Rose plotted, handed the knife to Nick, and her mother was killed, and she got 7.5 years. And she comes out smelling like a freaking celebrity. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure she wouldn't smell like a celebrity. There are celebrities out there that spend years, and I mean years, trying to even get a glimpse of what it's like to be in the limelight. And they without saying too dramatic, they die trying. This bitch kills her mum, and I'm sorry, but yeah. I just don't understand. And then, like I said, the other day I was watching a channel and they were talking about the Gypsy Rose case and they showed a picture of Nick's shoes. Now, Nick's shoes look like someone had actually sprayed, had a vial and actually just stood back a fair distance and then sprayed it and then just quickly put their shoes through it. There was no big, huge droplets of blood that would have been on his shoes if he had actually held the knife down by his side at any point. You can't get a spray like that if you're stabbing someone close.
There's also the concept that Nick only believes that he done 4 or 5 stabs and there was actually 16 or 17 on her. The 4 or 5 that he did were deep and the other ones weren't. So it makes you wonder, did Gypsy start it? Or did she have Dan come over and did he start it? And Nick just come in and do the final blows? Do you know what I mean? Because there's also the Barney incident too. So
the what? Sorry,
the Barney doll.
Would you like to elaborate?
There was the Barney show.
Yes.
Big dinosaur. I love you, you love me. Crap,
I love you.
Well, there was a doll like that in there with Dee Dee, but Nick doesn't remember seeing it there. But it was there in the crime scene photos. And they even asked him when I went over the interrogation, they even asked him in there about whether he saw the Barney doll, and he says straight out he didn't. He saw it in Gypsy's room. He didn't see it in there, but yet in the crime scene photos and all the evidence, it's in the bed. Also, all the baby blankets, you got to think, she was wrapped with 10 baby blankets over her. If you've stabbed someone Why would they have blankets and be tucked in? And I'll send you the crime scene photos, Tammy. I'll show you the crime scene photos. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't understand how. Okay, what's her name? Dee Dee was wrapped up like a little baby sort of thing, right? Like blankets were wrapped around her. If Gypsy never went into that room, how did Dee Dee end up like that? Now, I'm sorry. Now, Nick might have done it, but I seriously doubt that very much. I don't understand how someone can just sit there and be, like I said, treated as such, as though she's this, oh my God, she's just so, oh, poor girl. No, she's not a victim. The victim is lying in a casket fucking underground somewhere. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that when they did started doing that reality show, Gypsy had the audacity to take the camera crew to her grandmother's gravesite. I think that was absolutely fucking disgusting that she did that.
Yeah.
Because people are going to see that. They're going to want to fucking vandalize it because of the fact that, is that Gypsy's mother's mother or her Gypsy's dad's mother?
Gypsy's mum. No, it was Gypsy's mum. Who happened to pass away on the same day, just different years to Dee Dee. What's another very interesting thing? They both got the same death date, just different years.
Who's that?
And it is
Lisa. Gypsy's pregnant now.
She is, Lisa. But her dates aren't adding up. No, she'll tell you it's Ken's baby, but the dates are about 2 weeks before she broke up with with Ryan.
Ryan, yeah. She's you see on the reality show, she's talking about how she wants to get the morning after pill, and Ryan more or less lost his shit because he didn't want the world to know that. But it's just interesting. She leaves him.
Her dad mentioned about how much Gypsy wanted a baby and told Ken and Gypsy not to have one so quick. Yet that's straight away what they went and did. There's just so much to it.
Oh, yeah, and you want to hear something that's really – this is something I actually find quite humorous, is that when they went through the evidence, like the photos of the crime scene and what Gypsy Rose packed and all of that sort of shit, the thing I find most humorous about that is the fact that for someone who didn't know anything about sex or anything like that, in her bag and in her bags that she packed was, in fact, a packet of condoms. But yet she didn't know how to use them with her husband because she didn't want kids, but yet you pack condoms when you're... No, she didn't want kids at that time.
She slept with Dan because she ran away to Dan's house and was with him. She was also caught up in the motel room above the Comic-Con convention with a guy. I'm assuming that's Dan, but I don't have 100%. I just know that there was a guy. You've also got to remember that she also thought that she'd lost her virginity to Nick in the picture theatre.
Oh, yeah.
And then they slept together after they did what they did to Dee Dee in the bed. Then the motel room.
Well, I don't understand. Like, Gypsy's a little fucking skank. I'm sorry, but like, your mother's just been killed, but your first response to, instead of just like dealing in your head with what's just happened and dealing with reality, you choose instead to go and have sex. Like,
Tammy,
when
she sent Nick into what he did while she went in and shaved her hoo-ha to make sure it was nice and smooth. You just go kill Mum, dear, while I just go shave.
Yeah, I'll just go shave, and yeah, when you're finished, there'll be a nice surprise for you. You know, like, fuck. Well, I just don't like personally. Okay, now this is very embarrassing to admit publicly, but I'll say it. The first time I shaved my legs, I did not know that you're supposed to put soap or shaving cream or any of that crap. Because of all the TV shows and commercials that are amongst them, it looked as though that it was actually them just shaving their legs like you would normally just like get out of shave and off you go. kind of thing. Like I was never taught how to do it properly until I got much, much older. But my point being, though, is the fact that how would she even know which way to use the shaver and which way not to use the shaver? You know what I mean? Like for me, I've always been told you could go up with the shaver, but never across, because that's fucked up. But you can always go up or you can go down or whatever. You know what I mean? But you know, how would she even know that? You know, I'm not saying that to
She
sound like
reckons
I'm
her
trying
mum
to.
didn't let her shave, so how did they even have shavers in the house?
Exactly, especially if Dee Dee was fearful for her life, because I think the night before she died or so, Dee Dee turns to Gypsy and goes, "Don't kill me." Well, then get rid of everything in the house that could
Dee Dee's
possibly
last
lead to
word
that.
to her was, "Please don't hurt me."
Oh, please don't
Yeah,
hurt me.
they were
Okay.
sitting there watching movies and painting each other's nails, and Dee Dee got up to go to bed, and her apparent last words to Gypsy was, "Please don't hurt me."
I reckon Dee Dee lived in fear of Gypsy. You know what I mean? Because
In the
it's
end,
like, yeah, because it's like I said, I think that because the Gypsy was going to have to go to a institution, and that scared the crap out of Gypsy, because either A, she would have had to live in like she was known as to live for the rest of her life, or she was going to be caught, as you just mentioned, she was going to be caught out and charged with fraud. So she had a
which she would
choice, like
be.
I said.
No
Sorry?
one would have looked after her. She would have had to grow up once her mum passed, or it all would have came out, because there was already people asking questions. People
Yeah,
wanted proof, and there was no proof to give.
yeah. Well, I
So they
think
had to play
personally,
it down any way they could.
Gypsy belongs in jail still. She should be put back in fucking jail. And for that child to have any chance of a normal life, should be put up for adoption. Or
And
if
should we
Ryan's the
also
father, give it
mention
to
that
him.
Nick got a really bad lawyer? There was no plea deal for Nick. Nick actually got the hammer thrown at him in the court.
Yeah.
Not literally, but in his sentence. And even to this day, Nick gets a really hard time in prison.
I just think it's
Didn't look at autism. They didn't look at any of his medical conditions. They looked at hers, but they didn't look at his. And he still cops it in jail today. Poor kid can't even get an appeal, a proper appeal.
I think it's disgusting how they've treated Nick. Like, yeah, okay, he's like, I remember, I think I was in your channel or on your panel when you played the part where he said, yeah, like you said before, he only inflicted 4 to 5 wounds on her, yet there was 17 to 18 found on Dee Dee. And I just think it's absolutely disgusting, the fact that they don't, like, the only person that would have benefited at the end of the day, like I said, from Dee Dee's death, well, she thought she was going to benefit, was Gypsy. She took $5,000 from the what do you call it, emergency fund, because that's written on the plastic thing, something about emergency fund. And it's like, that's the money that Gypsy took. But here's the amazing thing. For someone who was never seen handing money over to pay for anything, how would Gypsy honestly know? And she didn't have much of an education either, but she was able to count up all this money to take with her, thinking that that was going to be enough to start a new life.
The money in the safe, it was in a safe in Dee Dee's room. And it was money that they had got from the fraud, and obviously, do you know what I mean, from charities that gave them money. And Gypsy had actually ran away the first time with Dan, and she took the money out of the safe time as well. Because Dee Dee turned up at the house, and Gypsy said, "I don't have to go with you. I am 19," because she was at the time, and he knew she was over age. And that's when Dee Dee said, "Even if you don't come home, where's the money?" And Gypsy gave her back the money then. So the second time when she took it, she cleared the safe out. Now, she also says she didn't go in the room. So if she didn't go in the room and Nick didn't know about the safe, how did they have the $5,000 out of the safe?
Exactly right.
Because by Gypsy's word, she didn't go in that room.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, you know, like, for someone. And plus, if she had gone in there the night before when Dee Dee had fallen asleep, most safes, I don't know if they all are like this, so forgive me, American people. If you have a safe, normally you push the buttons, and most of the time they make a beeping sound. So I think personally, like, you know, and then when it opens, it goes sort of to open. Now, I don't know if that's what safes are like over there, but sometimes over here you can get like a one from Bunnings or something, and you push the buttons and it makes beeping sounds as you push the buttons, and it makes a clicking sound as you open it. Anyway, long story short of things, though, is that I personally think that the fact that, like I said, Gypsy belongs in jail still. She should not be out, and least of all be treated like a fucking celebrity. Because if anyone out there in my chat looks at Gypsy as though she deserves the fame she's getting, then why don't we consider Chris Watts famous? Ted Bundy famous? You know, why don't we give, even though Ted Bundy's dead, but still, if he was still alive, give that, what's his fucking name, that Jeffrey Dahmer guy. Why don't we give them all a reality TV show and call them celebrities? Because by calling Gypsy Rose a celebrity, that's what you're basically saying about all of them, because they're not. You take the life or plot the life unaliving of someone, you don't deserve celebrity status of any kind. And then she's I saw a little bit of this thing where she's talking to, of all people, Kim Kardashian, and she reckons that she was never offered counselling in jail, and I'm just thinking, you weren't offered that. Okay, but what's Nick been offered?
Nothing.
Well, he's sitting in there rotting for a crime she orchestrated.
Nick gets bashed on a daily basis. He's always in the medical, and I've seen some of the reports. That's what I mean. He's in with all the big guys. He gets it really, really bad in prison. There's been no special protection for him. Nothing.
The
only good thing I have heard about him is that he has been trying really hard to behave, and he's now going into a program where he's getting his own dog. What I thought's pretty funny considering Gypsy just gave one up. But it's some program that they've got over there, and he is getting his own puppy dog to look after in prison. So that's the only good thing I've heard out of the years that I've been studying this case.
I just think it's fucking.
Oh, Lisa, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I can hear an echo. Oh, for. Well, you and Lisa friends on Facebook?
I'm not sure.
Well, I was just going to say, keep us posted if you are.
I've added so many people since I've added the new one. I'm not sure who I have on. I think she is in my Aussie page, though.
Oh, okay. I'll try and find you on there, Lisa, if you're okay with it, and I'll add you. Oh, I just think personally, like, why the things that people out there deserve celebrity status for are people that actually do good in this world. You know what I mean? Like, help fight world hunger, help fight justice for women and men who've gone through domestic violence, all that kind of shit. They deserve the limelight. Women or children like Gypsy Rose do not deserve that under any circumstance.
Take an Australian case, and I know we have a thing here, and I'm sure Americans have it as well. You can't profit and make money from crime. Do you know what I mean? It's a big thing in Australia. But take Lindy Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was very famous for what she did. But it came out that she did, do you know what I mean? They found the baby's remains. They found that the dingo did actually take it. She did get a pardon from Australia and, do you know what I mean, declared innocent for what happened. But even she did not get the fame for anything to what Gypsy's getting now.
Oh, and don't forget that. Yeah, and Gypsy's written a freaking book that's due out in December, apparently.
2 books. She's already wrote one.
Oh, what one's that one? How to Get Away with Murder? Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure
That's
what
a
it's called,
TV
but I know
show.
she's wrote one book. She came out of jail with 2 book deals and 4 lifetime reality programs.
That actually makes me quite physically sick. There's so much more. Like, there are documentaries that Lifetime could do that is so much more worthy than that. But at the end of the day, like, and there's Gypsy, like, oh, I don't, well, hang on, what was it? I don't want people to always recognize me for what I did to my mother. Well, then here's an idea, sweetheart. Turn off the limelight, step back into the shadows, and shut the fuck up. If you don't want people talking about this anymore, then do that.
The first book was called Released. It's on Amazon now. It's supposed to be the biography and a true story of lies, deception, and secrets. And
how much is Amazon selling that for?
The second one that she's writing is A Time to Stand, and that's coming out in December.
Sweetie, that should have been $80. $80.
$18.
Oh, 18. I was going to say $80. I wouldn't even give her fucking 80 cents. 18, I still wouldn't give her 50 cents. Okay, now here's the thing. I think personally her first book should have been called Standing Tall, considering the fact we've always thought, and hang on, how can it be standing tall? She's only 4 foot. How can she stand tall? She's not tall.
Standing in my own time.
Jesus. I'm sorry, but no. If I ever create another Amazon wish list, ladies and gentlemen, I promised all of you.
That's what it is. My time to stand.
Ugh. Yeah, and it's my time to smack you in the head with a shovel flat side. I'm not a violent person. Anybody that knows me knows I wouldn't be able to even grip the shovel to do that. So that it is a joke sort of thing. Kind of, sort of, not really.
And the Chris Watts stuff that came out, that is letters that he wrote back in 2020. They were released before. And what's that? Is it Dylan? Dylan, one that was in prison with him?
Oh, Dylan. Okay. Yeah, I know the name, but I can't remember what it is.
The one he was writing the Christian book with. So Chris pulled out of the book and didn't want nothing to do with it. And then Dylan changed the name of it to, I can't even think of the name, but it's something Cell, like the Cell Next Door or something like that. And the first one's only like 14 pages. The second book's 15 pages. The third one was 14 pages. So we've got like a whole 45 pages all up. But he's retelling the letters that Chris wrote ages ago. He wrote them in 220 that were wrote and brought out.
I honestly do not. I don't understand why prisoners can do this sort of shit. I'm sorry, but I see it as that if you commit a crime which includes killing your family or killing anybody or unaliving anybody, I don't think you should be allowed anywhere near anything that involves you writing what happened. Because at the end of the day, we all know it's going to be bullshit. We all know it's going to be hocus pocus. And at the end of the day, you do the crime, you do the time, sit down, shut up and do your time and shut up. You get released at any given time.
I was watching a thing on Sidebar last night or early this morning, I can't remember. But it was going on about these publications, everything of Chris's. And as they said, you've got to understand, Chris went in there as a high celebrity case. You know what I mean? Everyone was talking about it. And for years, that's what everyone has done. But you think about it, other than YouTube, Chris isn't such a big thing anymore. People don't talk about him. It's not like it was. Do you know what I mean? People aren't trying to write to him now to find out all the gossip because people already have everything that they need. So he's not as popular as he was. So when he becomes unpopular, he is going to be released back to general public, like in the general pods. He won't be in the protection. And as we all know, if you hurt a child or you hurt a mother, do you know what I mean? They're going to go after you. And that is why Chris is trying to get his back out there now, because as soon as they deem him as not needing the protection, he will be put down with normal people. And then it will be someone who's either got a hit out for him. Do you know what I mean? They don't care because, and I know this from when my dad was in prison, the ones that are in there for life, they don't care if they get more time because they're already in there for life. But if they can make a quick 20 grand for taking someone out, they can send that back to their families. Or it might even just be some nut job in there that just wants to be the one to take him out.
Yeah, and that's going to be the and it will happen. And I can guarantee you, Chris will not see his 45th birthday. He will not see that triple life sentence. He will not actually see that out until he's old and grey. People are saying, this is where I found it funny. They're saying that Chris Watts is putting on weight. Chris Watts is losing his hair. And I'm thinking to myself, I used to touch on this case so much. It was unbelievable how much I used to talk about it. And I hear things like that, and I'm just like, oh, poor baby. It's like, okay, he's gaining weight. Oh, well, then obviously he's not starving. You know, and that's exactly, like, fucking starve the prick. Do you think people out there, like, there are people in jails all around the world that actually do less harsh shit, like the jails here in Australia. I'm not sure if it's the same where you are, but over here in Australia, in Adelaide, what happens is if you're in the Holden Hill police station holding cells, you get McDonald's and you get Domino's and you get all that kind of crap brought to you. So at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that you do the crime, you don't really necessarily do the time because you get treated like freaking royalty. Hey, I haven't been able to order food in for myself for over, 3 months. I've eaten out probably, once in the last 2 months, and that's when I went out with you and Matthew. Sorry, you and Spirit Time, when we had lunch that time. That's the last time I ate out. Okay, I don't have the luxury of that sort of thing to go, oh, okay, I'm going to go to jail. Oh, I'm going to have to eat, soggy freaking cabbage and water or something like that and stale bread. No, the jails here in Adelaide, you get fed really good. You get, like I said, Hungry Jacks, Macca's, all that sort of shit. And in the meantime, there are people out there who can't even afford to put a meal on the table, and yet prisoners are getting treated like freaking really, really good. They get a large pizza, they get a garlic bread, drink, all that shit to themselves while they're in the fucking holding cells. Fuck knows what they get in actual jail.
You get fed better in a prison than you do in a hospital.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Come on.
It's unreal, hey. Like, you even get better medical in jails than you do in prison. You get better medical in prisons than you do in actual hospital. Treatment-wise. It's unreal. Giving prisoners stale bread and water. That's all they deserve. And when I say water, I mean water from a toilet bowl from someone who's just had gastro.
I'll be back in a sec. I've got Buzz asleep on my bed and he's just woken up, so I'm just going to take him to his mum. I'll be back in a sec.
All right, no worries. But yeah, I just think that the justice system these days, for what people actually get fed, I'll be lucky if I can afford noodles when I've got my cleaning bill, all that. I'll be lucky if I can afford a packet of fucking noodles. I'm not into the home brand noodles. I don't know why. I just don't like them. I think the consistency is weird. But for me to buy a packet of, say, Maggi noodles, it's which is probably all around Australia, for a 5-pack, it's like $5 for a 5-pack. It's ridiculous. absolutely ridiculous how people are, like, how jails operate these days. I'm actually quite embarrassed about it, really. I'll be back soon. Is there... Sorry, my knee's just locking up, and when it locks up, it really hurts. Ow! Oh, but no, yeah. But like I said, you know, like, I was devastated when I heard of Shannon Doherty's passing. Like, that crushed me, like, badly. Well, hopefully, like I said, hopefully she's now resting in peace and she didn't, you know, no longer in pain. I've never understood that when people pass away and people come up and go, oh, well, at least they're not in pain. I'm like, they're not, but I am. You know, like when my friend Lee died, she passed away, so you probably already know this anyway, but she passed away from lung cancer and people turn to me and go, oh, well, at least she's not in pain anymore. And I'm like, she might not be in pain anymore, and she's probably at peace, right? But I accepted that Lee was dying about a month before she passed away. I just accepted. So it wouldn't be so hard when she did die to accept it. But when people come to me and say, oh, well, at least she's not in pain, she's not because she's not here anymore. I'm in pain because I have to live each day without knowing that I'm never going to see her again. And that's the thing that sucks about loss, whether it's the loss through someone passing away or the loss of someone walking away. You have that fear because you're going to see that. You know that. But when people, at least they're not in pain, they forget to think that the person they're saying to is also going through pain because they're having to live without that person. And it sticks with it. That Gypsy doesn't even shed a single freaking tear for her mum or for Nick or anyone that she's actually hurt along the journey that she's chosen to take. Something. Do that. But like I said, but I was talking about the last bit and stuff and how the people are starting to hurt people. But yeah, I just get so freaking angry when people do that. Oh, well, at least they're not in pain anymore, you know, like, really? They're not, because they're not breathing and feeling that pain. But the people that are left behind, they're the ones that are in pain. So when people come to me and say, they're not in pain anymore, what's the fucking not? Everybody's scary. But yeah, they get down somewhere pain. I mean, you're okay, but so who'd you call, Olga? You feel like your granddaughter? No.
My granddaughter went to walk under, like, near me, under me, and she just walked straight under my feet because, as kids do, they don't watch. And I've fallen, and as I've fallen, I've had to basically tackle her to get her on top of me so that she didn't get hurt. And I went under, and it went on my bad side. So, yeah. But at least she didn't get hurt. She's little. I'd rather me take the fall than her.
Okay. Oh, hey, Jody. But yeah, to get to go see Dan, how long will you be staying? Are you staying with Dan or are you staying at a hotel? What are you doing when you get there?
Oh, no, I'm staying with her. So we're flying down Friday.
Yep.
She's going to come and pick us up from the airport. We were going to drive, but we worked out it was going to take me 14 hours to drive there. So we decided to fly instead. And we're staying till Sunday and flying back. And she's going to fix the caravan up so I can stay in the caravan while I'm there.
No.
I get to see her goats, her chickens.
Just don't wear red around goats because apparently if goats see red, they fucking ram it.
So
I found that out. They wear red and then when it's about to charge you just step aside and go,
I'll walk in all red and I'll say, Daddy told me.
Yeah, that's it. Blame me. No, I don't know if that's true though. So it might be. But I don't know. That's just it. Like I don't know. I hope sorry, but that's fucking bulls. That's not fucking goats. Oh my god. Oh, I just had such a tabby moment of stupidity. Fuck. But no, I hope that you and Van have a great time.
Spirit Time wanted to take me away one more time before surgery started so that I'm not chitty and not that I get chitty.
Are you nervous about it?
No, not yet. Asked me the day before, might be a different situation.
Oh,
not yet.
Well,
it's not paid for, so that's good. Everything's done now. We've just got to now wait for the day to come, and yeah, I'm going in with my daughter, and then Spirit Time will be here. So,
how long do they predict the surgery will take?
The first one's just the airbag, so it's just day surgery. I've got to be in there by 8, and then it just depends when I go in.
Oh, so you've changed the name of what they're called now. You're not going to call them the fun bags. You're calling them airbags now. Okay.
Airbag surgery.
Yeah. I'm not even going to tell you to explain what you mean by that. Because people
going in, it's like, it's not my car. It's me.
Yes, because it's like I don't want to have to ask you to explain what you mean by your airbags, because at the end of the day, that's your choice. But let's just say it's like she just said, it's not her car. It's her personal car.
My hubby has 14 airbags in his car, and I said I need an extra 2 before I sit in it.
So we're now just trying to. Yes, so we definitely know where the airbags are going to go. We just need to make sure that she gets used to them before she has the other surgery, to make sure that she can handle the.
Yeah,
I don't know how to put. Yeah, handle them. I was going to say handle the weight, but that's just something so weird. But yeah, no, you'll be fine.
It takes. They said that within a week I'll be up and about easily.
Yeah.
And then we are moving to Queensland straight after it. So a week after my surgery, we're planning on moving to Queensland. And then we're going to have my surgery for my neck in Queensland, because it's cheaper in Queensland than it is here. They want $40,000 in Victoria for me to have it, where it's only 20 in Queensland. So,
okay, quick question. Have you got a place in mind you're going to be moving to when you move to Queensland?
Just around Brisbane.
No. Have you got like a place, as in like a house or a...
Oh, no. We've been looking now at a couple. It's just really hard, because some of them want, do you know what I mean, a month's in front, because we're coming interstate. So it's just trying to find the right real estate that's going to be reasonable with us. Because most of the houses are $900 and $1,000 a week, and you're asking for a month in front. That's.
Can you get a do you private rent now, or do you rent through an organisation?
Through a real estate.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, if you're through an organisation, you can always ask them just to put your name down for a transfer and stuff. But you want to be up there for your surgery and stuff. So.
No, I'm through a real estate, but we've paid up to like the 4th of the 9th at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as we get a house, we can start paying rent there. That doesn't bother me, because I'll be paid up till like long enough here. Yeah. But it's just finding a house and finding someone that's going to let us. Because another big thing, and I don't know how it is over in America and stuff, but in Australia, they like you to look at the house before you they'll even take your application. And that's one of our dramas, because we're not there, we can't look. So it's, again, just Spirit Time putting on his arm and hoping that someone's going to let us have a house that we like.
Fingers crossed. Is he getting a job transfer from the job he's doing now? Or is he going to have to look for another job?
No, he'll look for another one.
Oh, well, he's hoping that he gets one that is something he wants to do, and it pays well that you can actually afford to do what you want to do.
He will. There's heaps of tradie work up there, and my daughter's in childcare. There's heaps of childcare work up there.
Yeah.
We're not worried about the jobs. They'll get back into work fairly quick. And even if he doesn't, he'll be there to help while I heal for my surgery. So we've got enough funds to cover it if he doesn't for a bit.
Oh, well, poor Badan.
But yeah.
But are you okay?
Hey?
Are you okay?
Yeah. I made a whole trailer for my new channel today, and then I realised I made it in the wrong format. So now I've got to go remake the whole
one. I'm looking forward to, like I said. Sorry?
So that's what happens when you start things when you're half asleep.
Yeah, well, I tried making apricot chicken the other day, and let's just say I know never to use drumsticks again.
I love apricot chicken.
So do I. Like, I made it, but the thing is, though, I made it this time. I normally use French onion like soup mix, and I thought I haven't got any. Fuck. But I had some brown onion gravy, so I thought I did 2 tablespoons of the gravy mix, and then put apricot nectar over it, and then mixed it all together and poured it over the chicken, and actually turned out much, much nicer than if I was to use the French onion soup mix. The only problem is using drumsticks. You've got to make sure that you take out the freaking bones. And I don't like shredded meat, and that's basically what ended up happening with the drumstick meat. It became shredded. It's gross.
My baby crow.
All right, I'm going to wrap this live up because I've got to go figure out what I'm going to try and do for dinner.
All right, my darling, I'll let you go while you do that. But thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome on here anytime. As long as I'm live at the time, because if I'm not, then it's awkward. And feel free to drop the links for your channels and your Facebook page with the Sensi stuff if you wanted to.
All right.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, take care, doll. Oh, okay, bye. All right, guys, I'm going to, like I said to Ozzy, I'm going to wrap this up because I need to go and try and find something for dinner. I don't really have the energy or the strength to cook today. My hands hurt so freaking bad. It's unreal. But all of you take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for being in here. Lisa, Jody, Pistola, that you're in here earlier. Like I said, Ozzy, thank you for coming up on panel and being in chat. Much appreciated. Kitty Witty, thank you so much for being in here as well, sweetheart. Much appreciated. Who else has been in here? I believe that's all of you. Oh, Julie was in here as well. So thank you, Julie, for coming in here. Much appreciated. All of you just take care of yourselves and be good to each other. And just remember, though, that if you have a topic you'd like me or like to join me on panel with and talk to me, feel free to get in touch with me and let me know. Alrighty. All of you take care of yourself. Tune into Aussie True Crime's channel on Monday. Not exactly sure of the time, unfortunately, but tune into Aussie True Crime's channel on Monday afternoon or Monday evening, depending on how it operates in your part of the globe. Oh yeah, Foxy Ladies, thank you also for popping in here as well. As I was saying, thank you so much to everybody for all your support, for all your, just whether you've bought something for me off my Amazon wish list or you've donated to my PayPal or you've just been here in chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means so much to me that I have an amazing group of people that I can consider my second family. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you would, like I said, if you do wish to donate, please do. The PayPal link is in my about part as well as in my description. If you don't want to, don't feel like you have to. But if you do, just know that I'm very, very, very thankful for that. All money raised that I make between now and say 2.5 months time will be going towards helping me get a skip bin so I can get rid of even more crap that I need to get rid of. And that way then the cleaning bill I'll pay for. I could figure out a way to do that. But if you could help me get my skip, that'll be amazing. And like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you in unique ways. If you need to get a hold of me for anything, feel free to find me on Facebook. My Facebook is Tammy Wells, which is TAMMIE Wells, WELLS. Just look me up. It is not the one with the picture of a camera around my neck. That is my old profile. But my new profile is me smiling like a fucking idiot. So please feel free to find me and message me. If you do happen to try and put a friend's request through and you get a message from me saying, I'm sorry, do I know you? Please try and keep an open mind, because a lot of people come into YouTube and they use a different name. So please try not to have a hissy fit if I message you before I accept your friend request and asking who you are. It's just for safety, because at the end of the day, my Facebook is my private place where I don't necessarily add people randomly. So if you do send a friend's request through and you do get a message back from me saying, I'm sorry, but do I know you? Or sorry, who is this? Please keep an open mind with that. All right. All right, guys. All of you take care. Stay warm, stay cool, stay hydrated, stay warm, everything like that. And I will see you all very, 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 very soon. And I'm hoping in the next few days I can figure out a good live to do. But like I said, if you want to donate, donate. If you don't, don't. But please let me know I can't even think of a sentence to say that. All right, guys, all take care, be good. And until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye-bye.